Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. On this episode of Forge Space, we're going to go ahead and install a CD-7 CAN Display Dash from AEM. That's going to go ahead and replace all of our gauges right here. So right now I have oil temp, coolant, boost, and a fuel gauge, as well as the RPM. So we're going to go ahead and replace all that. In order to do that, I have to take and do a little bit of rewiring on the ECU2 to get a pass-through, because right now the fuel gauge and the oil pressure gauge are ran off of the sensors from these two directly. So we're going to take and do a pass-through on some channels that are not used on the 0 to 5 volt reference channels, and we're going to take and then feed that into the ECU, and then the ECU is going to kick that out to us into a CAN signal for the dash. Then for the dash, not sure if we're gonna do right here in the middle or if we're gonna put it centered right up here. And I think I'm gonna go centered up here just because it'll be a good place for it. It's pretty close to where I got it right now. So we'll pull all this out. I'm not gonna debating removing all these switch panels too. Well, for now, we're just gonna pull all the gauges out. We're gonna remove the tack, and then we're gonna go ahead and wire in our signal lines to the ECU, so that way we can get a CAN signal, and then right after that, we're gonna go ahead and start installing this guy. Welcome to my Porsche. So this guy is pretty simple. We just got the one bolt right there, well, one nut. Then these guys, I think I just have a PVC sleeve and a clamp holding them on. So let's see. Yep, clamp. This one. That one's just in there by friction. This one's got a little bracket. Okay, and then this last one is also a clamp. This last one up here is also clamped in place. So we'll go ahead and pull the clamps, get these out of here.
Track flipped. Hocks in. Ready, go. Red or blue? Red. Whip.
All right, so these are all our options for our reference, 5-volt, and ground. So over here we have D8, D6, and D9, and they're pretty much all down the middle here. This is very unpopulated, so we'll go ahead and tap into this one for the old pressure. And then on this one, on this guy right here, the C channel, we have C28, which is this guy right here. And then we have C24, which is just up from there, for our 5-volt signal. So we'll ground it out to another port. Got to find which one's another sensor ground. But we're going to go ahead and pin into this, get our oil pressure sensor in here, connect it up, a little pigtail, and then do this for the fuel. We have an old pressure wire wired in. So next we're gonna go ahead and get this guy wired in for the CAN signals. So this is the connector that goes to the back of the AEM dash. Off of it you have two cables which are the violet and the gray, and that goes to your light dimmer. So for nighttime it will dim down the screen. And then you have your AEMnet cable, which is the old style cable. And then we have our 4-pin cable, which is your CAN and power and ground, which technically is also AEMnet as long as you configure it correctly. So from here, I have a AEM interface cable that is designed to go directly to this ECU, and it is a AEM 30, 34, 32. So, and in case you're wondering, the ECU that I have is a 30-6050. So the 4-pin connector connects up over here. Then it's got a point where you can take and jumper off because it's a splitter. We go down to our end here, and we have 2 pins. We have high side, low side. So we'll go ahead and pin those into the D connector, since it is the same connector for the CAN signal. So right here, you have your white and green, and then red and black, obviously. But CAN high, CAN low. So green is CAN low, white is CAN high. Location on the 6050 up here, D14 and D10. So white wire goes in D10. I went ahead, connected the fuel level sender to, let's see, that's C23, 24. It's got a 100 kilo ohm pull-up resistor. So then we're just gonna go run it through the sensor and into the ground, and that's gonna give us our signal. So that's perfect. And then this is our power and ground for our display unit. So what we got to do is connect these up. I already got the wires set up over there. Gonna go ahead and connect all this up, and then we'll do a test run, make sure everything works. Alright, so now, assuming I didn't screw this up, I'm going to connect the battery and I'm going to turn it on and see if a display powers up from voltage. It's a good angle to stick you guys at. Maybe. Yeah, that should be good. Alright, let's give this a try. So, where'd it go? Here we are. Alright. And click. Okay, so we got power to it. We don't have any calibration file or anything loaded. No smoke is good, as always. I'm gonna go ahead and connect this up, connect that guy up, load the calibration files, load the CAN output to the ECU, and give this a try. So now we go to Wizard, Setup Wizard, Telemetry AEMnet, apply, CAN telemetry. Okay. Now tools, configure telemetry, CAN telemetry. All right, so we got all this on here. So what's neat is you can go to your tools, configure telemetry, CAN telemetry, and then you can go show info. And it's got all our data we need. Set it up in the dash right here. Okay, so when we go here to the AEM website, we can download the free digital dash software. Download Digital Design 2. So that's downloading. While that is downloading, for the AEM dash, over on the backside here, you got a little cover. You take that plate off and you got a USB connector. I believe this is the mini USB. So we're gonna go ahead and connect in. Okay, USB connected. Place it so it won't fall off. Okay, device is ready. All right, digital dash is pulling up, had to restart. Right, we wanna open app specific, I think. And we are looking for AEM Series 2. Okay. Let's open up something generic. Let's go over to CAN. Make sure this is set up more or less. It says it's set up for the most part. So, all right, let's go ahead and update the firmware, and you can see on there it's updating right now. Okay, and it says it was done successfully. Okay, so it's restarting and nothing. After messing around a bunch, I got it all squared away to read fuel pressure and everything else. So, next thing, I think we gotta mount it up. After we get it mounted, we're going to install our GPS antenna. So we're going to put that somewhere in the corner, just so it's out of the way, out of view, but it will get a good signal through, and we'll go from there. So I bought some 1-inch wide, 16th inch aluminum. We're going to bend up some brackets to take and put on the back side here. And I wanted right about here for the location of the units. So let's go ahead and get those made up. Jesus. Alright, so lastly we need to install our GPS receiver antenna, so this is the antenna itself, and then it's got plenty of cable to put it even in the back of a car if I wanted to, but I want to keep it up front. So where it connects is, I'm going to take you behind the unit. So you see this little gold connector right here? So that's the antenna receiver connector. So what I think I'm going to do is I want to put it on this flat area right up here. So I'm just going to clean this off real good, and then we'll glue it down, run the wire right across the back and down, and then I'm going to have to coil it and zip tie it, because you can't just cut this wire unless you got the crimp on ends, which unfortunately I don't. One quick note, this does have a magnet in the bottom of it, so you don't technically have to use the adhesive on the back, but you know what? I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I think we might just leave it on the magnet and then just run the wire. Sweet, don't even have to clean it. Let's go ahead and check this out, make sure the GPS signal works. We got our receiver unit right here. We got to power on the dash. And look at that. So there we have it, guys. AEM dash is all installed. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this whole mess in here, and we'll go and possibly take this on a test drive real quick. All right, guys, well, it's all back together. It's all cleaned out. We're gonna go and take a quick lap around the block, make sure everything works, and that'll be it. Jesus, all that sand. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that would help. All right, hang on, I need to plug that. That's better. The boost line was open. Everything's looking normal. If there's a lot of bouncing on the gauges, we're gonna have to put in some filtering, and that way it eases off. So once we put a little bit of a filter on there, it'll take and level off where it's not jumping as much. Did I not close that door all the way? Apparently not. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and let that cool off for a bit. Got to get the hood back on there. Got to replace the pins on it, but she drives good. So got to button her back up. I lost one of the latches when it was being towed backwards, so I just got to replace it. And then we'll be squared away and good to go. And then we'll start working on the body. So next episode, we'll probably start assembling the Tesla motors. So I know there was a poll, and if you guys missed the poll, there's a poll for the motors. Am I leaving them bare aluminum or are we painting them? Right now, it's about a 50-50 split. I'm leaning towards painting the center case red and then leaving the sides, the motor and inverter side, bare. So let me know what you think. Catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.